Hey, if you're looking to create a balance sheet for a nonprofit, then you've come to the right place. We have created a balance sheet template built specifically for nonprofits. And what we've done is a little bit unique. What we've noticed is a lot of balance sheet templates are just that. They're a template of the balance sheet, but they don't really help you figure out how to fill it out. And so what we've done is we've created a 2-tab spreadsheet here. And the first tab lists a number of questions in plain English. And the hope is that you can just answer these questions. And when you answer the questions, the balance sheet will be filled out for you automatically. And so I'm going to show you how to walk through and use this template. And before I do that, just real quickly, my name is Adam Huxema. I'm the co-founder of ProjectionHub, and we've helped tens of thousands of entrepreneurs and nonprofit leaders create financial projections for their business. And specifically today, we're looking at this balance sheet template and wanted to walk you through that. So let's jump in. All right, so you'll be able to grab this balance sheet template for free by going to the link in the description of the video below, and then you'll be able to follow along. So the first thing you need to know is that every cell that's highlighted in blue is an assumption that you can change. So you can change the name, the date, and then the balance sheet is broken down into assets, liabilities, and net assets for a nonprofit. And oftentimes you'll hear for a nonprofit, a balance sheet is called a statement of financial position. But if you've been asked for a balance sheet or a statement of financial position, they're really the same thing for our purposes here. So the first thing you want to do is enter in how much cash you have in all company bank accounts. This could be checking, savings, and CDs, cash equivalents. And then you want to know how much do your customers owe you. So this is typically considered accounts receivable. And then if you have any inventory, how much did you pay for that inventory that you currently have on hand? And what dollar amount of grants have you been awarded but not yet received? So this would be what's called grants receivable. So you may have applied for a grant, you've been notified that you've won the grant, but you haven't received it yet, or maybe you've only received a portion. What you want to enter here is the amount that you have not yet received. And then what dollar amount of donations or contributions have been committed but not yet received. So again, this could be, you might have pledges or pledge donations where you've received a portion of the pledge but not everything. Again, you'll want to put in just the amount that has been committed but not yet received here. Next, if you have any long-term assets, so this will be a nonprofit. I've left this blank, but if you have any machinery or equipment, furniture and fixtures that you own, if you're leasing a space and you paid for leasehold improvements to that space, you'll want to enter that dollar amount here. Then how much did you pay for any land or buildings that you own? And what is the value of any long-term investments that you own? So this could be stocks, bonds, or other long-term investments. And then lastly here, what dollar amount have your assets depreciated since you purchased them? Now, if you have an accountant or CPA, you should probably ask them what they have listed as depreciation, like on your tax return or your 990, and that's what you would want to enter in here. But if you don't have an accountant and you're trying to figure this out, we've put a link here to learn a little bit more about how to calculate depreciation. Then other assets, again, this may not be super relevant to most nonprofits, so you may just leave this blank, but the value of intangible assets like patents, trademarks, copyrights. And what dollar amount of customer deposits are you currently holding? So if a customer pays you in advance for services and you're holding that as a deposit, that's what you'd want to enter here. And then lastly, do you have any other assets that we haven't already asked about? You can enter that dollar amount here. All right, next we're going to look at liabilities. So liabilities here, how much do you currently owe in unpaid bills to suppliers, vendors, contractors? This is typically known as accounts payable. How much have you agreed to pay out in grants to others that you have not yet paid? So let's say some nonprofits receive grants and donations and then turn around and give out grants to sub-awardees or sub-grantees. So if you are granting funds to other people and you have committed to grant to them, but you have not actually provided that grant money to them yet, that would be what you want to enter here as a payable. All right, how much do you currently owe in short-term loans that you will have to pay off in less than 12 months? So this could be a credit card balance. That would be a good example of that. And then this is a little trickier. How much will you have to pay in the next 12 months on any long-term loans that you have? So if you have long-term loans, what you need to do here is add up your monthly payment and multiply by 12. And that's what you're going to have to pay back in the next 12 months. That's at least probably going to be the simplest thing here to do. You're probably really looking to put the principal amount that you'll be paying back in the next 12 months. So again, that could be a little bit trickier, but to be very precise, what you want to show here is the principal amount, not the interest and the principal of that longer term loan. And then do you have any other bills or debts that you need to repay in the next 12 months? And then long-term liabilities. So this is how much you owe in loans to banks and other business lenders. These are longer term loans, a longer term portion of that. Then do you have any other long-term debt that we haven't already added? And after you enter all of that, then the last question here is what dollar amount of grants, contributions, and donations currently have restrictions? So you might get a grant, and that grant comes with a restriction that it has to be used for this specific purpose. So let's say you got a $100,000 grant, and all $100,000 needed to be used for a particular purpose, and you haven't used it for that purpose yet. Well, then it's restricted, and you would need to put that full $100,000 here. And once you've done all that, you can click this Generate Your Balance Sheet, click View, and it'll bring you to your Statement of Financial Position or balance sheet here. And it will show you everything you need here. And at the end, it'll tell you whether it's balanced. And it should be balanced based on the way we've built it, but this will, just in case there's anything that's broken, and that can be a warning if it says anything other than balanced, you'd want to double check and make sure. But the idea here is that your assets here, your total assets, should equal your total liabilities and equity. And so those two things should be balanced. And then the last thing I'll do is I'm just going to give a little commercial. If you need to create a full financial projection for a nonprofit organization, we do have a full financial projection template that helps you think through how to build out projections, not just a balance sheet as of a particular point in time, as of like today, but you want to build out projected balance sheet, projected cash flow, projected income statement. That's what this template allows you to do. You can enter in different things like your operating expenses, your salaries, and then ultimately you're going to get some nice charts and graphs and a 5-year projection of your statement of activities, your cash flow, and then 5-year balance sheet projection or statement of financial position. So what we did today was just a balance sheet as of a particular point in time. And then this template, this projection template, will allow you to create a projected balance sheet for the next 5 years for your nonprofit. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out, leave us a comment, support@ProjectionHub.com, and we would be happy to help you. Thanks.